What do you know? We are live once again, another Tuesday night. Thanks everybody. Appreciate everybody for joining me. I've always thought I wish I had something like uh is it I almost said Jimmy Buffett. Who's the guy that used to do all the boxing stuff? The ring guy. Jimmy Buffer, I don't know, something like that. I wish I had him to to do my announcement in terms of let's get ready to rumble here. So looking forward to this. I got to thinking, with so many, good, barrel proof bourbons that are out there. And again, this could have gone in a million different ways, but I thought with kind of some of this stuff that we have, that these are three relatively, I guess I'll say, common, barrel proof bourbon. So I figured, of these three, and I kind of buckled to the peer pressure of Michael Buffer. Thank you very much, Kitty. I figured I'll throw the fourth one in there. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to necessarily mix this in, because I don't know what these three are. I know they're here, but my wife poured all three of them blind, just so I didn't know exactly what they were. The key is over there that she put underneath a bottle. So yeah, I wanted to kind of dive into that a little bit and just see kind of how these things shake out against each other. I figured I'll probably recognize all three of them for the most part, but I don't think I've ever done all three of these together at one time, and maybe we'll even throw in the Green River as well. Once maybe I go through these three, I'll factor in that, just kind of see where that plays in, kind of the mix. Now, in fairness, this is our pick for Mash and Journey. This was the Jorge T swag. So, I mean, this was a real outlier. But again, I think I'll be able to pick, which ones they are. Famous last words, of course. But we'll see how it goes. But let me say hi to a few people that were in here. And then as you guys can see, I've got like a little QR code up there. This is a charity that was set up, and it is going to fund basically everything for the efforts that are going into helping the flood victims in Frankfort, Kentucky, because they are absolutely being demolished by the water that's there. And I don't even know if it's receding or not. I know it was supposed to crest, I think, yesterday, but I don't know where we are with things. But I know Buffalo Trace has been shut down. A lot of places have been shut down. People have lost a lot of stuff. So if you're able to give anything, my wife sent me this thing earlier, and I figured I would throw that up there for everybody to kind of, if you want to give or you're able to give something, to help support the people there in Frankfort, Kentucky. I'm sure they'll greatly appreciate that. So I thought I would throw that up there as well. So let me see what else we got here. So let me go back to the beginning, say hi to a few people. Of course, there's my boy Johnny, Top Dog. Good to see you. Travis, good to see you as well. Cheers, buddy. What else we got here? There's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Whiskey Nose. Good to see you, brother. Sugar Kitty, meow back to you. Thanks for joining tonight. As always, appreciate it. Randall, thanks for joining. Appreciate it as well. Love seeing a lot of people in here. We got to make this thing the place to be on Tuesday night. So, Top Jimmy, good to see you, brother. Appreciate it. I think someone said maybe you, I don't know if it was you or somebody was a little under the weather, but whoever that was, if that was you, Jimmy, hopefully you're feeling a little bit better. What else we got? Mr. Peter White, good to see you. Thanks for joining tonight. Appreciate that. What else we got here? Mr. Joey B. Sorry, Joey. Wish we could have gone to Buffalo Trace this coming Tuesday, but as like I was mentioning before, with them being just completely devastated by those, by all that flood water that's there, it's bad. I mean, it's as bad as I think I've ever seen it in Kentucky. I mean, not living there and not going through it, I'm sure it's obviously a lot worse for everybody that's there. But man, oh man, that is the water that was there. Absolutely unbelievable. So, like I said, that QR code, you can scan that and you can give really whatever, and it's going directly to that fund that's helping everybody there in Frankfort. So Mr. Mays, good to see you, Eric. Thanks for joining tonight. Appreciate that. Yeah, and if any of you guys have this, these 3 or 4, let's call it, and you want to blind it along with me, let me know in the chat if you're doing it. I'd love to know kind of how it all goes for you. If you're able to blind it as much as possible, if not, no big deal. Just kind of thought it would be interesting to have something to do with other people as well. Mr. Reese, good to see you, buddy. Mr. Papa, good to see you, brother. Appreciate you joining tonight. Josh Fritz, good to see you, Josh. What else we got here? Mr. Wayne Arnold, good to see you, Wayne. Cheers, buddy. The other man, the myth, the legend, Tommy, how you doing, buddy? The Bourbon Jerk. He will be on Thursday night, so check him out. I think he's with his twin brother, Mr. Marty or Whiskey Nose. So the 2 twins will be going at it on Thursday night, I'm pretty sure. What else we got here? Benny Bendram, and good to see you, Benny. Always good to see Ben. Sugar Kitty still lurking. Appreciate that. Yes, Michael Buffer. I would love to have the Michael Buffer, maybe even like a ringtone or something like that. That guy, his brother, I don't know what his brother's name is. I think it's his brother that does all the MMA stuff now. So, but who knows? Cask and Q. All right, good to see you. I'm not sure if I've seen you on here or not before, but hey, welcome and thanks for joining. Appreciate it. Maybe it could be a new name too, so you never know with some of these with the names and everything. So, what else we got here? That's scary to step on a pop top. Let's see. I think we're almost done. Almost caught up here. Drive with Derm. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining tonight. Appreciate that as always. Ben Crispin. Good to see you, Benny. What else we got here? Mr. James Lay. Hopefully you are doing well down there in the southern part of the United States. Joe, the sample guy. Thanks for joining. Eric, good to see you, buddy. Appreciate that. Connoisseur Cigar. Cheers right back to you, brother. Mr. Ed Williams, good to see you as well. All right, I'll speed this thing up a little bit. So, Peter B., good to see you, bud. Sorry, Roger. I didn't want to make anybody do too much work. I thought maybe this would be a fun thing. But yes, if it's too much work, definitely don't do it. Just sit here and listen to me babble away. That's for sure. So, Dano, good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you joining tonight. Mr. Perkins, good to see you as well. All right, I think we're almost kind of caught up here for the most part. And we are. Brought some Savannah to Atlanta. Okay, good. It's still a dump up here. Jeez. All right, I'll let you do that. Mr. Ice, good to see you. Man, must be lunchtime for you. So I appreciate you joining. Should be fun tonight. So like I said, if anybody other than Roger wants to do the blind with me, let me know if you guys are you're going to be doing it. And oh, you're back home now. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Edwards 80. I'll do my best. So anyway, one last thing. So as you can see, the little QR code, I threw that up there. If anybody can help in any way, I'm sure the people of Frankfort, Kentucky will much appreciate that. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. So we'll dive into a few things tonight. And yeah, what's everybody else got? Anybody else sipping on something tonight besides any of these? And if you are, what are you sipping on? Mr. I was clicked on the wrong one. Renee, sorry about that. Appreciate it. There's Beans. I love seeing Beans. So, let's see. Polly P, Scott Van Pelt. Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, what do we got here, Wayne? The problem with some here in Bowling Green is there a lack of flood insurance. Yeah, so that can be a major thing. I used to deal with a lot of that kind of stuff in the insurance world back in the day, and yeah, it can be an absolute mess. So crazy. So look at you flexing on the quintessential. So appreciate that. So yeah, like I said before, I wanted to set up this little kind of blind flight tonight just to kind of see how these 3/4 are going to shake out. I think I'm going to focus on these 3, and I'll kind of mix this one in somewhere along the way. But I wanted to see, with them being similar priced, in terms of overall like availability, I guess I'm just gonna say average. It's so hard nowadays with the way distribution is to know, who gets what and how much somebody gets. So I think for the most part, all of us have the ability to get our hands on, I'll say all three slash four of these bottles for the most part. Whether they're single barrels or just the blends like these. This is a single barrel, but overall, I think these have become three staples for a lot of people. So I wanted to kind of put these three, in a blind and just kind of see how they all really just kind of shake out. So that was the main thing with tonight, was just to kind of have a little bit of fun with this and see kind of where it goes. So what else we got? I'm sure Renee is flexing with some kind of crazy cocktail right now. So she's like the cocktail queen, I swear to God, with always using the good stuff. So, oh yeah. So that's one other thing I wanted to say. So thanks for mentioning that. So these are three just random ones. So actually, this is the first time I even looked. So this is C924. What is this one? This is B524. And this was one of the single barrels that we did. So slightly, I guess, a little bit unfair. But, all of them have been open for some time. So they've all gotten some air. So those are what we're using tonight in the blind. So again, C924, which was 11 years right on the nose. Barrel proof, let's see, Larceny. Obviously 125.4. And this is batch B524. And let's see, what was this one? So it's coming in at 129.9 proof. This was the one we did a couple years ago. And same thing with this one as well. 125 proof single barrel that we did at the Mash and Journey. So I love it. This is like she's like the flex queen. I swear to God, it's always some amazing cocktail. I'd say if that's not the definition of go big or go home, I don't know what it is. But I always love to see Renee's pictures of her cocktails, because it's always some like crazy high end whiskey. So I give you props. Like they say, drink it how you like it, and whatever that may be, it is what it is. So good for you. So. All right, Wayne's pouring up a little of the Penelope Valencia, okay, and Vino de Naranja, okay, awesome, appreciate that. What else anybody got? Oh, can't complain. Sipping whiskey and grilling, man, that's a good evening, Benny, right there. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. What's everybody else got in their glasses? I'm so excited for the Green River over the next 2 years. Same here. I'm kind of excited to see where they go. Especially with them. Being in collaboration and partnership now with the ownership with Bardstown Bourbon Company. They've got a lot of great avenues they can go down, for being able to produce some great whiskey. So there's the boss. Good to see you. How you doing, Katie? Good to see you. Thanks for jumping in tonight. Appreciate it. Probably lurking while you're doing some bean roasting or something. So tell the big man I say hi as well. Let's see. All right, let's kind of dive into this thing. Let me have a little sip of some water here. I'm not sure what that is. Rid of that. And we'll have some fun tonight. So I'll start from my left and work to the right. So obviously opposite for you guys, but we'll dive into that thing. So cheers, guys. Appreciate everybody for joining. So how I've got these marked, let's see, I'm going to mark, so Distill Fergate MB. So I've just got this glass, I'm just calling the Distill America glass. As you can see, I don't know if that's popped up. Well, whatever. Distill glass. I've got the my Forgate Glen there, and my Bourbon Journey Glen there. So those are the three we're working with. So let's first start out with the Distill America and see what exactly this is going to give us. Oh boy, kind of smells like a weeder a little bit. Man, actually quite a bit of ethanol. I mean, for this thing, I know still 125 plus proof, but boy, from what I remember, Almost like that's kind of weird. A little bit of like an orange creamsicle kind of deal on that. I'll know more with once I kind of get into the taste part of it. So, yep, that's the order that we're doing. Distill America, Foregate, MBJ. Thanks, Travis. That's what we're doing. That's the order. So we'll see what wins tonight. So yeah, if you guys think of throw in the comments how do you think this is gonna shake out? Give me 1, 2, and 3, just in that order. What I think I'm gonna like the best, and we'll go from there. So we'll see how it kind of shakes out. But nose is actually pretty inviting on this thing. I do like that orange kind of creamsicle nose. Hmm. Pretty nice. Good spice on it too. I'll say this about the Larceny. I think it kind of gets, I don't want to say a bad rap. I don't think it's necessarily that. I just think it's the fact that it's a weeded bourbon. I still think people kind of are just not totally on board with weeders for the most part, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm not exactly sure. Jack Larceny ECBP. Okay. Daniel says ECBP, Jack Daniels Larceny. Yeah, I think with some of the Larcenies, I think again they can come across as being very like ethanol forward, kind of hot, you know, and with that kind of grain that it has, I think can be a little bit off-putting to people. So I think that's kind of where people struggle a little bit with what Larceny barrel proofs or just kind of barrel proof weeded bourbons can be. So all right, cheers everyone. Thanks for joining tonight. We'll see what this one is. Oh, it kind of feels like that Larceny, but man, it is very like vanilla orange forward. And I would say not something that I always seem to get with like a Larceny barrel proof, that like orange, kind of orange vanilla, great spice. I think the heat that's there, again, it's going to come across a little bit hot since this is my first whiskey right now. We're kind of firing right out of the gate, but man, 125 proof. I mean, it feels all of that right now, but that orange kind of vanilla, great baking spices that it has on it. There is that feel for the weediness. I'm just gonna write. Well, I'll taste them all, then kind of figure out exactly which one I think it is. I'm guessing this is probably the weeder, but and the reason I'm saying that now is the finish kind of feels like it's setting up a little bit of that kind of frosted flake, corn flake kind of feel to it. There's that, but I do like the orange part of it. Does anybody else ever get like an orange kind of creamsicle vibe with any of these like weeded bourbons? I don't drink them that often, so I don't know if this is just something that is like maybe more common than I'm like alluding to, but I just don't remember there being this much like orange vanilla combo on a Larceny barrel proof. So yeah, let's just go right for it. No warm-up pours. Let's just dive right into this thing. If it was going to be something more formal, I probably would, Joe, but with this thing, let's just fire away. The Waxster, good to see you, Jeffrey. Thanks for jumping in. Mr. Hall, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Jeffrey says, I associate orange with something with rye typically. Yeah, that's why this is a little bit odd. This is not something, I'm assuming this is it. I don't even know. I'm just assuming that this is the weeder because it's kind of coming across like that a little bit. Some kind of chocolate, orange, vanilla kind of vibes. Great spice. Heat is nice on this, but without it being very ethanol forward. They're that kind of Kentucky hug it definitely gives you, but now this is going to start to kind of fire up the palate a little bit. So we'll see exactly what this thing does. But yeah, it's got a little hug to it, that's for sure right now. So we'll see how this kind of all shakes out. But so far, from what I remember, the B524. All right. I don't have a lot of them. I've got a couple more downstairs. So again, this is also what was making this a little bit interesting was I just had her pick what these were. So I had no idea what these bottles were, because I mean, I could have picked out C923 for the ECBP and just found the best of everything. But this kind of makes it a little bit more random, a little bit more, again, yeah, just kind of random where I'm not picking and choosing a particular profile where one's going to dominate the other. These are just being mixed in there, and whatever they are, they are. So. Yeah, Cask and Q, man, I'll tell you what, that is something that I think is long overdue. So I'm super looking forward to when we get a chance to try that. So, no, they haven't released that yet. Have they released the ECBP, but the rye? Trying the new ECBP rye release this year. I didn't think they had released it yet, but I could be wrong with that. So. But yeah, definitely interested in trying what their barrel proof ryes have to offer. I think from that standpoint, I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head what we get from Heaven Hill. That would be maybe that kind of stock. That would be a barrel proof like rye, and there's nothing that's coming to mind. I mean, other than again, you're getting things more like Pikesville, that kind of stuff. Maybe some of the Parker's stuff would maybe be if we were talking about just a rye, but just a straight blended barrel proof rye whiskey. I don't know. I'm kind of digging it. I was excited when I heard them that they were going to release it. So hopefully that will be something that's coming really, really soon. So I don't know. Has anyone heard a date on when that's actually coming out? What's up, Scotty? Yeah, this one is is a 20, yeah, B524. So I was thinking 23 for a second, but that's what this is. Oh no, this is 24 as well. No, I don't know if she did that on purpose or whatever, but I doubt it. So anyway, all right, let's move on to the 4-gate glass here and see exactly what this is. And oh boy, that's a big nose right there, man. Yeah, these two will, once I smell 3, I'll have a better idea of kind of what this one is, but this is kind of coming across as very, very like cherry forward. Lots of baking spice. Lots of almost like a there's a little bit of like a pastry, so I'd say like a chocolate pecan. Those great like leather kind of tobacco notes, that big, heavy, bold, kind of rich nose. So I mean, if I was guessing, I'd probably say like right off the first smell. The one thing I'll say about this is with the Jack pick, and this was I think just shy of 130 proof. I'm not getting a lot of just straight ethanol off the glass. Now this bottle's probably been open now for a couple of years, and this was my backup bottle, so I've already gone through one of these, but it's a big nose. I mean, this kind of falls right into that category of a whiskey that I really, really enjoy. Now, with that being said, most of the time I'm not drinking a lot of the bourbons that have the big proof to them. It's just one of those things where I start getting above that 120 proof point, and especially if it's like ethanol driven, it's not something I dig that much. But like with these, if it's not, um, I guess I'm just trying to think of like the word to use. I mean, it's I guess I'll say I'm like on a from a during the week standpoint. On the weekends, really obviously anything goes. And doing a lot of the barrel picks and just drinking a lot of whiskey in general, you have to always be a little cognizant of just drinking all that high proof stuff all the time. So real quick, I got this one the other day. This is just a um, it's only what is this thing? No, it's only 80 proof. They did send it to me, but it's at Pendleton Rye, 12-year-old. I think it's Canadian whiskey, but I figured I'd give it a try and see exactly what that was like. Maybe do a little review, and maybe it falls into a category for someone who enjoys that kind of stuff. I mean, it is 12 years old, so maybe it'll hold up a little bit. So Jeff says, back in the day, I used to get hyped for the Larceny Barrel Proof and ECBP, but it's been a long time since that happened. Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many things that have kind of popped up out there these days as well that it is. We're inundated with a lot of really, really good whiskey these days. So, all right, beautiful, beautiful nose on this thing. Big, bold, rich, complex. Everything you'd expect from either a Jack or an ECBP bottle. Easy for me to say. All right, let's get into this. Cheers, guys. Mm. Well, it's not coming across very. I don't know. Boy, lots of like vanilla cream on that though. Does come across as a little bit more kind of jack forward with things. Great. I mean, beautiful baking spices. Proof is like, I mean, fantastic with this thing. That's the one thing I will say about these barrel proof, bourbons, whiskeys, whatever. They're the ones you can really take your time with. Just let them sit there, sit on your palate a little bit. Just coat everything. You don't have to pound these things or, drink them super quickly. The flavors just linger for so long. And again, part of doing this was, the general availability. The price point for the most part is all about the same price. Honestly, the Jack maybe the least expensive of the bunch. But again, all very, very close in terms of, what we're paying, 75-ish, give or take one way or another with some of these things. I know some of these single barrels can be even less depending on where you get them. But, again, availability, I'll say average because most of these things now, hit all or most markets for the most part. You don't hear a lot of people, Larceny used to be very, very difficult. It seemed to be more difficult to find at times than the ECBP, but these things used to be like, I mean, they were difficult, then they got much easier, and now let's say they pop up, seems like just about everywhere. The Larceny still, I think, can be a little bit hit or miss for some people, and some of the Jack stuff now. I mean, between this and the barrel proof Rise, I mean, these things have become like, I mean, pretty readily available for the most part. So I'm at least happy to see, three whiskeys that are up here right now that all have a relatively price friendly kind of approach to them. So again, they're all coming from, huge heritage brands, which allow for them to kind of keep some of the prices and stuff down. Will that be the case, moving forward? Who knows? But anyway, that was kind of the reasoning for this. I mean, I could have thrown in, a lot of barrel proof stuff, and I've got this one that's over here too. Maybe I'll finish that one up. But it's kind of interesting just to see and put these three, kind of head to head in terms of, where they kind of stack up against each other. Yeah, that's a monster whiskey right there. So, all right, let's go on to the My Bourbon Journey Glen and see what this is. Oh man, that's a good nose right there too. Hmm. This is kind of coming across a little bit more Elijah Craig barrel proof. Yeah, that's probably fair, Wayne. I would say, the Jack and the Larceny. I think with the ECBP picks, I think a lot of us got so spoiled with things, and it kind of seems to also be one of the brands that, we either love the thing or I don't want to quite say hate it, but it's one of those things that, maybe it gets a little bit too much. Um, I don't want to say bad press. That's not what I'm trying to say. We probably critique the ECBP a little bit more than we need to, because sometimes, with this one, so this again was the C924 at 11 years old. And again, it wasn't that long ago that if we were getting an 11-year-old bourbon at cast strength, like we would have been like crazy about that. Like that would have been fantastic. I know that they used to have just the minimum age of 12, and now anything below that, we all kind of get a little worked up about things. But overall, I think it gets kind of, you know, picked on a little bit more than we kind of should be with it. I still think for that price and what you're getting from a big heritage brand, you're getting great bourbon for, let's say, $75. It's kind of a no-brainer. Even if they're not on par with some of the others, I still think it's an incredible bottle and a great value. So, and that was the thing tonight was, which one at the end of the day, is the best value. I know that's subjective in terms of we are kind of brand loyal a lot of times with that, but still, it is there knowing what this is, because the Jack picks aren't that old for the most part. Like this is probably, in all honesty, half the age of this, close to it anyway, give or take. The Larceny, I think those are, I don't know, 7 to 9-year-old barrels. So we're getting a little bit more up there in age. So you can kind of see in terms of what it is we're paying for, I think value becomes a perception of also the brands that we enjoy the most. So you're maybe willing to pay a little bit more for something that you like from a brand standpoint versus something. So that to you becomes a different value. So, and again, to each their own. There is no right or wrong, I think, with any of this, because all four of these, there's somebody this is their favorite. It doesn't matter what this is. It's someone's favorite that's out there. So, Okanagabe, thanks for joining tonight. Appreciate it. If anybody hasn't checked out his channel, go over and check out Okanagabe. I think you'll appreciate his videos. So, cheers, buddy. Yes, perfect. That's probably a great analogy. Wrecked by its own successes, and that's, I mean, I guess I don't want to say it's downfall or anything, because it's not. It's just one of those things where we nitpick the heck out of those ECBPs, because in our mind, there you go. The C923 is a huge bar. Whether we'll see that again, I don't know. I'd like to see something challenge it. That'd be great. If there's just something that popped up and somehow challenge that'd be fantastic to see something else get released that gives or pushes that C923 as maybe, I mean, it's my favorite by far. I mean, even going back to the 2020s. I mean, I've got some that are the ECBP from 2017 and some from 18. And honestly, I still think that C923, I mean, that thing is a monster of a whiskey, and all in a great way. So, Nashville Mac says, I agree with an ECBP hate. Yeah, it does that's probably a better analogy. A little too much hatred, little too much hating on that one. That's for sure. So, yeah, I still think for the age that it is and the price, I mean, it's just a crazy good one. So, all right. So Wayne says, when you get a good ECBP, it usually needs to be up near or above 13 years. Something about that mash bill. It needs. Yeah, I don't know. Like for me, I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, again, to each their own. You drink what it is you like, but I mean, I'm still fine with these things being down in that even 10, 11-year-old, range. Are they always going to be as complex as those super old, Bourbons, no. But at the end of the day, we're not always finding these super old bourbons. And if you are, if they're from like an NDP, you're paying at minimum double the price of that. You may pay 150 for 12, 13, 14, 50, 200, $300 for it. So, for something that's, let's just say this one is 11 years right on the nose for 75 bucks. I mean, sign me up. I'm good with that. I'm not going to complain too much about that. So, um yeah, C19 was a good one as well. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, brother. Um they can be very, very hard to beat. There's no doubt about that. So I think I missed something before. Thank you, Marty. I appreciate that, buddy. I'll pass that on to Julia. Give her an extra $5 for some spa stuff. Let's see what else we got here. I love the C923, but I tried it against a weekend in a blind and it didn't perform like I thought it would. Actually lost to the Larceny C921. Really? That's interesting. You would think they would be so like kind of completely opposite of each other that it'd be one of those things where you just choose, of the two kind of mash bills, which one you prefer. But what's up, Jonathan? Good to see you, brother. Um Wait, just sit back. Yeah, that's the thing, and that's the other thing. You're always afraid to say, bad things about something that everybody's liked on. So it is what it is. It is what it is. You drink what you like. At the end of the day, it's kind of like why with reviews, I don't get into scoring or telling anybody it's good or bad. Nosing and tasting it is what I like to do and leave it at that. And if you like it, great. If you don't, find something that you do like. All right, let's see what we got here. This kind of coming across as a little bit more of the ECBP, but what I will say about this is it does seem to have a more creamier mouthfeel to it than the Jack did. And I'll go back, but just kind of like thinking or trying to um kind of put that all together, this feels a little bit creamier than the Jack does. So we'll see how it shakes out. So Tommy D, good to see you, brother. Let's see, what do we got here? CA Scotty. All right, so I have always liked the Larcenies more than the ECB or the Elijah Craig, but that's my palate for the 125. If I buy any, it will only be the Larceny. All right, interesting. And again, that's the best part of this. It just if you enjoy it, great. If you don't, find something that you do. I think there's so many people that just want to, you know, kind of hate on other things for whatever reason that you just don't need to. It's like, you know what? If you don't like it, great. Just find something that you do where there's a plethora of whiskeys out there and really good ones. So just find something that you enjoy. So all right. Let's kind of go back through and see what I'll kind of rank these things. I almost don't even want to mix this in. I mean, it's so different than all three of these. It just really stands out. I mean, it's maybe the best. It's maybe I'm a bit biased, but it's maybe the best single barrel um Green River that I've had. So it's kind of a bold statement, but that the thing is a beast of a whiskey. Actually, the more I'm kind of sipping on this, the the little bit more, little kind of is starting to come across as a little tannic. There's a little bit of a bitterness there on the finish part of it, which is not sitting very well with me. Hmm. Not something I I am gonna skip it. I'm not even gonna go into it. I already know like where that would probably fall. That's for sure. Hmm. Man, it's got a great mouthfeel though. Yeah, this kind of like almost like spicy Mexican chocolate, but with a little bitterness that's there. Hmm. Yeah, because I don't think I was like overly crazy about the C924 if I was thinking back. And maybe that's why now. So we might just have to compare those. Sounds like a blind coming. What do you think about that? Both ways. Both ways. Yeah, those Green River barrel strength, man, they are, and for the price you get them for, crazy good deal. There you go. We're talking value, value stuff, great values. It's another great value one. So, man, that is, I don't know, something I'm not really kind of digging about that one right now. Yeah, this one's got that big, bold, heavy, rich. I think I know the order of them right now. Hmm. I sure hope it kind of shakes out the way I'm thinking, but I guess I shouldn't say that I hope. I think it's going to shake out the way I think it is. It's proof. Wow, it's 129 as well. Hmm. Boy, these are pretty close. They're actually all close within a few proof points. These two are almost spot on. Not even one proof point there. About four-ish here. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, they really got some good barrels, that's for sure. Yeah, no, Marty, you're not going to get any argument from me on that one. I would agree. I think for $50, whatever it was, man, for that thing being as available as it is and still is, that full proof is it's a great bourbon. That's for sure. Man, I'm really liking that middle one. Like I said, I think it's the Jack. I mean, if I'm gonna go out on a limb and say like what I think they are, I'm I'll probably mess it all up, but who knows? I think we're probably talking about Larceny, Jack, ECBP. That's kind of where I think we're going with this thing. But hmm, man, I'll tell you what. I mean, I'm liking this one more. I mean, it's more like balance. It's way more put together. I'm not focusing on one thing where I'm getting this little bit of a bitterness here. This one's kind of starting to kind of drift off for me a little bit. Um, hmm, interesting. Yeah, actually now the more I kind of go back to this, and maybe this was because I was sipping on this right away, or it was kind of my first one. You are starting to pick up a little bit more of that kind of cherry pie note that you'll get. Sometimes I get with either a wheat whiskey or just a wheated bourbon. That is now starting to kind of come out in this a little bit more of that fruit, that fruit layer that's there. Hmm. Almost comes across as like a spicy, like fruity pebbles or something. Hmm. It's nice. For anybody who came in late and didn't wasn't here from the beginning, as you guys will see in the well, for me, it's in the upper right hand corner. So yeah, for you guys as well. But This little QR code right here, if you want or are able to donate anything to the foundation that was being put together to help everybody there in Frankfort, Kentucky. It's um, it's really going to benefit everything that is happening that's there. I mean, the devastating water and flooding to so many people there, that everything will be used for, helping, everybody out with whatever is possible. So if there's anything you can give, they will definitely appreciate. I mean, I'm not getting anything out of this. This is just to put that up for anybody if you choose to donate, and they would be grateful for that. So if you want to scan the QR code, um, they would, again, like I said, they would appreciate it. So all right, Ryan, what do you got? Hey, bro, are there any new flavor whiskeys to try? New flavored whiskeys? Well, that's kind of a loaded question. I guess I'll let the chat kind of chime in on that as well. I don't drink really any flavored whiskeys, but if you're just talking about new flavor whiskeys, I guess I would have to know a little bit more as to, what it is that you like we've been talking about, some of the Green River stuff. There's a lot of those that are just on the shelf that offer a lot of, really good flavors for a good value. So I wouldn't hesitate to try anything from Green River. Obviously you've got your staple, kind of shelf stuff, and Knob Creek 9-year 100 proof, some of the Old Forester, like Signature 100, things along those lines. I don't know where you are within your bourbon journey, so to speak. But yeah, if you want, you can always shoot me an email. Happy to help out any way I can with regarding any new whiskeys or to try or suggestions or anything like that. So let me throw this up there. Where is that? Yeah, if anybody ever has anything, you guys can always shoot me an email or whatever. If you want to do a blind flight night or anything like that, happy to do that as well. So there you go, mybourbonjourney01@gmail.com. So you can always shoot me an email there, and I'll give you some suggestions if you'd like. So Jesus, I'll tell you, some of the East Coast guys, specifically this one right here. Let's raise money for the charity. I'll tell you, there's always one in the crowd. I'll tell you that. So we're not waxing anything on a live stream. I'll tell you that right now. That's definitely not happening. So, do I have anything on, Travis? Actually, I don't even know. This is all kind of changed. So I'd have to even find out and see what I've got. So smoothing filter. All right, interesting. I'm gonna have to look and see what that is. I'm not even totally familiar with the smoothing filter. So let's see. All right, we got Starlight Peach is a good spring. Oh boy. I'll let you guys recommend all this stuff. I don't do any of the flavored whiskeys or any of that stuff. So I'll let Travis and those guys who drink all the Crown Peach and stuff give you those recommendations. But if you want, shoot me an email. I'm happy to help you out with any of that stuff. So yeah, and then Crown stuff, you can find that stuff like everywhere. It's every time you go into a liquor store, that stuff is everywhere. So, but I don't know, like, will it be much longer with where it's coming from and all the import export stuff that's going on? God only knows how much longer that will all be going on. So, what do we got here? So, good evening, gentlemen. All right, gentlemen. So, you must be in the wrong group with using the gentleman like that. So, all right. So we got found Copper and Cast 7-year-old MGP uncut unfiltered for $42.99 without tax. fine with that. I mean, it's right. It's probably in that kind of price range anyway. So if you can find something a 7-year old, and some of those can be great. So, that can, I mean, they can be diamonds in the rough. So if you find like a really, really good one, those can be absolutely fantastic. And really, honestly, even if it wasn't like a great sipping one, you've got a great cocktail, bourbon for 43 or 45 bucks out the door. So, let's see. What else we got here? I must have missed something. Someone must be busting Travis's whats or something. But all right, let's kind of dive into these things here one more time. We'll go back through. Let's start here. I have a little bit of water here and see what we got. Let me do this real quick before we go back through. Let's have a little sip of my Jorge T swag. Man, oh man. Just crazy. I wish I could give you taste of vision for those of you who've had the Jorge T swag, you know what I mean. It's just kind of hard to kind of put into words. I mean, it's just a great, great bottle of Green River. So I may have to go head to head with Renee's and see kind of where they shake out. Doing a little blind might be good. So yeah, I think you did a good job with that one. I mean, finding a cask strength 7-year-old bourbon these days, not that it's uncommon or anything, but if you can find a really good one for 43 bucks, if whoever picked it did a great job, you can have some fantastic bourbons that aren't going to break the bank. So yeah, he did. He did get it. He probably, I think he promised it to everybody too, and he just did a quick review, and then he's going to get it out after he already did the review. So look at this guy. Hey, I'll call you tomorrow. I saw you called before I got busy, so I'll call you tomorrow, maybe. At a Sam's Club. All right, I'd put ours up against the Sam's Club pick. I'm just saying, Wayne. But all right, let me go back through these here real quick, and I'll put these in order and let everybody get on with their Tuesday evening. So, but as always, I appreciate everybody for joining tonight. It's always fun to do these and hang out with a lot of you and to see some new people in here. It's kind of cool. So, yes, I do have some Dearborn Pirate downstairs. I was kind of holding off reviewing that thing because I know there was kind of a pause with everything. So maybe now with them either releasing it or about to release it, I think they actually have. Maybe I'll kind of I'll work on a review. So yeah, I'll work on that, Paulie. Actually, Paul, it's been a while since I've even had it. I'll have to go back to it. I probably couldn't even tell you anything about it right now, to be honest. Mm. If that's the Jack, I could see why so many people go crazy for this stuff. I mean, in terms of value, when you're talking about probably or very close to the maybe least expensive bottle that's up here, could be the Jack. From a value standpoint, if that's the case, I mean, it would probably be, to me, the best value, because I'm going to equate that to also the flavor, not just the age. I know far too many people care way too much about what the age of something is. Not that it can't indicate or really lead to great whiskeys, because obviously it can, but it is not always the case. So, and Jack is a perfect, example of that. So, all right, let's go back to this one. This was the one I wasn't digging very much before. So, Oh, it dropped on seal box already. I thought maybe I saw something about that. All right, so you C923. I'm assuming we're talking about that's the C924, and this was the B524. All right. Oh, if it's the ECVP, it's incredible bourbon. Probably my favorite in years and years. All right, I think I've got a good handle on this thing. So, all right, let's do third place. Let's do third place first. So, I think my third place pour tonight will be the My Bourbon Journey glass. So I'm going to put that in third. And I think that's the ECVP. I'll put a little question mark there. My second place will probably go to the one in the distilled glass. So that was my second place. And I think that's going to be the Larceny barrel proof question mark. And then that would lead to the winner being in the 4-gate glass. I think it's going to be the Jack. So number 1. All right. I'm sure I messed this whole thing up, but if for some reason I got him right, I'll be amazed. So, all right, Travis, what were you saying? The MBJ glass is what? Are you saying that's the third place one, or you thought that was the one that won it? Maybe I missed something. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, buddy. Appreciate you jumping in tonight. Jason, if I didn't say hi, what's up, brother? Third. Okay. The color gives it away. All right, you guys are doing all the intel stuff. All right, so let's do third place first. In third place was the MBJ. Let's see, where did she put this thing? There it is. All right. Oh, my Lord. MBJ. So if she poured these things like this. Wow. Okay. So on here, she has the MBJ as the Jack Daniels. My God, I've gotten like all these things wrong. This is crazy. All right. So if she poured these in the order she's got them here, so she's got in the MBJ glass as the Jack Daniels, which finished third, which is crazy. That's holy moly. I don't know if she got these things right. I don't know if that seems right or not. Is that right? I guess it's not overly dark. Is this darker? I don't know. Man. All right. Well, MBJ. All right. I got that one wrong. So MBJ was actually, yeah, she's got Jack Daniels written on here. All right. So I'm bring the judge into the room. I don't know if she's even watching right now or but you got, so this is right. Okay. She's okay. All right. So, all right. So she did it. All right. She did it in a, you didn't do it in lowest to high. Oh, okay. All right. She said she did it from lowest to highest, which would make sense. So then technically in second place was the distill, which was the Larceny. I got that right. And then the winner ended up, the winner ended up being the C924, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, actually beat out the Jack kind of by far. Like this one was not with doing the blind, like it had this odd kind of bitterness to it, which was strange. not something I normally get. I was thinking more along the lines of that being. Nah, Paul, I don't get it. It's one of the things I just don't get um on stuff. I don't pick up banana in whiskeys. I don't get it in Old Forester. I don't get it in any of that. So it's one thing I know a lot of people get. It's just one thing I've always struggled with picking up in whiskey is a banana note. So man, it just kind of comes across as a little bit. The nose is nice, but man, the finish are just this little bit of a bitterness that's there to it that I just don't like as much on the finish. I don't know. Man, that's crazy. I mean, it's been open for a little while. One Travis, 129.9, 129 on the nose, 125.4. So not a huge difference and almost no difference between these two. So that was one thing that I liked the mouthfeel of it. I just didn't like how it was really I just didn't like how this was finishing. It had this little bit of a bitterness to it was slightly that was slightly off-putting to me right now. I mean, I've had great barrels of Jack before, and like for whatever reason, I don't know. It's just odd. It's just kind of coming just did not hold up to the ECBP clearly at all. So, um, and again, this is the fun part of doing these things, not knowing what that was. So I had in third place, which ultimately ended up being the Jack Daniels. My second place was the Distill, which ended up being the Larceny Barrel Proof. And in the 4-gate glass was the ECBP, and that was the C924. So, yeah, what I thought I guess I didn't like, I ultimately liked. I mean, it really wasn't even close. Now, in terms of like the ones that were closer, these two were closer, obviously, in profile, as you can imagine. But that Larceny was really holding up very, very well tonight. It was much richer, much bolder than a lot of these things sometimes seem to or come across, because sometimes I know people, the perception of a weeder is they can't be spicy or kind of big and bold. Well, they can be. And Larceny, I think, has continued to get better and better as they release these things. So we'll see what we'll see how it all kind of shakes out. But again, that's the fun part of a blind. You just never know how these things are going to be. I mean, going in like with these three, I thought it would have been from my favorite. I thought it was going to be the Jack. Then I thought it would be this, and I thought the Larceny would come in third, and it did not shake out that way at all. So, all right, what do we got here from Debbie? We've launched our new bourbon group for sippers, new release hunters, and idea shares. I highly recommend you join. All right, cool. Give it a look. There you go. Okay. All right. Guess we're getting that taken care of. I guess I guess we're all getting a new I'm not doing all right. There's always one in the group, that's for sure. So you don't have to do it. But hey, we Debbie, we appreciate the love. So Travis, the spam detectors. There's man, they used to be crazy back in the day, but who knows? So anyway, there you go. It didn't exactly shake out how I thought it would have, but that's what you get with a good blind. So I think if I would have known what these were in my mind, I may have done it a little bit differently, because I would want certain things to fall where they were. But I would say overall, at the end of the day, based on the flavor profile, the ECBP batch C924 stood out the most amongst. All right, we get it. Somebody want to we got a mod in here um that can handle things for me. It's getting to be a little bit. We get it. We get it. Um yeah, so it kind of shook out that way where let's see here. Let me see if I can. No, I can't do anything, but um maybe one of the mods can handle that a little bit for me. So you don't want just things getting spammed all the time. But yeah, so that's the fun part of a blind. You just never know how that stuff is going to shake out. And it kind of it really did. I didn't envision this finishing third. I thought in my mind, how does this just not, win it? But it didn't. Again, it was just not working for me tonight. Not to say it wouldn't on a different night, but overall, it was just something that was just not working for me tonight. Had that little bit of that bitterness on the back end or the finish part of it that was just enough to throw it off. And really, I was more surprised by how rich and kind of well put together the Larceny barrel proof was. So here's one thing I'll say before we go. If you guys have either not tried or think you're not a fan of a wheat whiskey, I will say give the new batches of from Heaven Hill let's see, these are the wheat whiskeys. So the Larceny straight bourbon whiskey, the barrel proof wheat whiskeys, they are absolutely, this is just a sample I got from Heaven Hill, but they are absolutely amazing. I mean, they are so incredibly rich, well balanced, complex. I really think more people. I know it's tough because a lot of times people say I don't want wheat whiskeys. They can be funky, they're goofy, whatever it may be. Larceny, in my opinion, may be doing the best wheat whiskeys out there. Now, I've not tried them all, but what I will say is it is an absolutely fantastic whiskey. And I just did the latest review on the B525 or was that what it was? Sorry, yeah, what was it? The A225. Yeah, the A225. And again, just absolutely incredible whiskeys. And I mean, they're as far as what it is that Heaven Hill does, it may be the most, I guess I'll say, not talked about whiskey that they produce, and it shouldn't be that. In my opinion, they are absolutely incredible whiskeys. So if you haven't tried them, actually, it wasn't the Larceny, it was the Bernheim. What the hell am I talking about? The Bernheim. I know I showed you the wrong one. I was looking at one and I picked up the wrong one. But the Kentucky straight whiskey, straight wheat whiskey from their Bernheim. I mean, it is fantastic whiskey. So I would challenge you, give it a try. If you do, let me know your thoughts on that stuff. So anyway, I appreciate everybody for joining tonight. Todd Rick's in the house. Happy birthday, Todd. Everybody wish Todd a happy birthday. I think he's 65 years old today. So happy 65th birthday, Todd. Appreciate that. Wayne says their grain to glass weeder was good. I thought it was halfway decent, but I'll tell you what, that Bernheim barrel proof, it is fantastic. I would put that thing up against, like, honestly, it would have been fun to throw that in here, to be honest. But who knows? I said I would probably know, but who knows? I'm just saying, if you can challenge yourself to try something maybe a little bit different, get yourself a little bit of that Bernheim barrel proof wheat whiskey. I think you guys will really dig it. So, Paul, don't try to kiss his butt. He's not 30 years old. I'll tell you that. So. Reverse this. I don't know about that. Reverse the 6 and the 5, and you got it. Okay, 56. All right, I'm catching you. I'm catching you. So anyway, but I appreciate everybody. And Todd's right there. He's right there in Frankfurt. Again, click the little or scan the QR code. Anything that you guys can do to help them out, they would greatly appreciate it. He knows the impact that water has made on that community, and anything and everything will help them out. So appreciate you guys doing whatever you can to help them out. So yeah, ice. I'll go through that one night with all the new stuff that's coming. We got some things. I'm not going to do that tonight with all of them. Not everybody cares about that like you do. So we'll update the Patreon stuff with all the things coming here pretty soon. But I appreciate everybody for joining tonight and just kind of being a part of this. And again, this is the fun part of a blind. It's just you just never know what it is you're gonna end up selecting. And it didn't go exactly how I thought tonight, but the one that I thought was the best was the one I chose. So anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate everything. Next Tuesday we were supposed to be at Buffalo Trace, but obviously that got canceled. And we'll work on getting that stuff. We'll work on getting that rescheduled. That was again, like I know Captain was talking about an update for things, but that was going to be a pick we were doing for our Imagine Journey. But yeah, needless to say that got canceled, so we'll have to reschedule that. So it's crazy when you see that amount of water that's there from that river and all of that. Just crazy stuff. So yeah, like I said, if you guys can help them out anyway, click the little QR code in the upper right hand corner. So thanks guys. I appreciate everybody for joining tonight. As always, appreciate all the support, watching the videos, commenting, liking, all of that good stuff. On your way out, if you can, do me a favor. If you haven't, hit the little thumbs up button, subscribe. It all helps out the channel and continuing to grow things a little bit more, and just for the old YouTubes and all that. So like I said, thanks guys. I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight and being a part of this, and just kind of hanging out for an hour and almost 15 minutes. So cheers guys. We'll probably at this point see you next Tuesday. Since I'm not going to be out of town, we'll come up with something. May actually work on trying to get somebody on the channel with me for next week and doing some more fun stuff. So with that being said, thanks again, guys. Appreciate everything. And as always, it's about the journey, not the destination. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening and enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll see you when we see you. Have a great night. See you guys.